All right, awesome. So let's go ahead and meet. Like I said, we're going to start just laying face down on your mat. And as usual, we're going to take a couple of moments just to kind of center and focus. So finding a position that's comfortable for you, if having the hands stacked in the back of the hands underneath the forehead is comfortable, that's awesome. If you have something nearby that you wanted to place under the head, or you can place one ear down and have the hands kind of just in a comfortable position. They can be out to the side, they can be down to the side, just finding something comfortable to take some time to get centered this morning and focus in on our practice today. And taking these first couple of moments, as usual, to just take a scan of the body, notice how you're feeling today, notice where any points of tension are, notice where your breath is, notice if it's maybe a little bit shallow because of the position that we're starting in, maybe because just haven't taken the time yet this morning to take a couple of deep breaths, whatever it might be, just noticing where you're at. And then from there, I just want us to start to slowly begin to deepen through our breathing, begin to expand a little bit through the chest. So in this position, maybe you'll feel your body lift up a little bit as you find that expansion through the rib cage and the chest. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. Like I said, taking this time to take that scan of the body. Notice if there's tension through the lower back. Notice if there's tension through the neck, or maybe it builds up in the face, the hands, the feet, wherever it is. Sending that next exhale there, just giving it a little bit of leeway, a little bit of space to relax a little bit more deeply. Okay, so like I said, we're going to start today with a little bit of lower back and shoulder work. The very first thing that I wanted to start out with, I just want you to take the arms out overhead towards that front wall. So we're nice and long, the fingertips are long overhead, the toes are long behind us, and then I just want you to bring the neck to neutral. So whether you want to place the forehead down on the mat, or if you want to just keep it floating, just making sure that the neck is nice and long through center. The first thing that I wanted to do was just kind of waking the shoulders up and getting them moving. So there's two ranges of motion that we're going to find here. The first one, we're just going to lift the hands a couple of inches off the floor. The chest is going to stay down. And we're going to start by just pulling the thumbs into the collarbone. So pulling the elbows down by your side, the hands come in, and then extending them back out and setting the hands back down. So we're just going to do that a couple of times to start warming up those shoulders, warming up that upper body. The hands come in, the elbows come down, and then they come back out and they rest. We're keeping the chest on the floor for now, so we're just really working through those shoulders to wake them up a little bit here. Like I said, trying to keep that neck neutral. So once you've kind of seen what we're doing, bringing the head back to center, taking it nice and long. And give me two more of these just like that. And then we're just going to change up that range of motion just a little bit here. When you finish that second one, the next range of motion is just going to find a little bit more down to our side. So we're going to start same position, head nice and neutral. You're going to lift those hands up off the floor. Instead of bending at the elbows, we're just going to swim those arms around so they face that back wall, and then bringing them back out once again, and then resting those shoulders down. So same as before, just a couple of these. Once you kind of got that range of motion, making sure the neck stays nice and neutral. The head can still rest on the floor if that's comfortable. Just moving a couple of times here. And then give me three more of those nice big circles, waking those shoulders up, getting them moving here. After that third one, bringing those hands back out long. And just relaxing the shoulders for just a second, giving them just a moment to recover. And then we're going to start to move and wake up our lower back. So kind of moving in a nice big X pattern down our body for our X lifts. So once again, we want to make sure while we're moving here that our neck is nice and neutral. We're going to take the right hand and the left foot. They're going to lift up off the floor while the other two stay planted. Little hold at the top, and then a nice big exhale to relax down and switch. So just moving nice and controlled in our X lifts here. This time lifting the chest a little bit up off of the floor, but using those other two limbs for a little bit of support, grounding them into the floor, maybe grounding those fingertips down. Just finding this range of motion, squeezing through the glutes, squeezing through that lower back to find that little lift. Again, just working to wake up the muscles in the body here all the way through that posterior chain. And we're going to do 4 more of these here, so twice more on each side. When you finish those last 4, bring it right back down, giving the lower back a little break to relax down onto the mat. We're going to finish off this kind of nice, easy warm up here with a good quad stretch. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that right foot up and point those toes up towards the ceiling. Now I'm a little bit tight today, so I can already feel this through my quads. To intensify, I'm going to reach my right arm around behind and see if I can grab at my foot. Now, if from here I've got that range of motion and I can grab it, that's awesome. If you don't quite have that, you can use this opposite arm to bring the chest up off of the floor and increase that range of motion by a little bit. And then all I want you to do is find just a medium intensity of a stretch here. So for my comfort, I like to bring this hand around to the inside of the foot. If outside is comfortable, totally fine. And then just taking a second to pull the foot in just slightly until you find that medium intensity. So if this is pretty intense already right here, or just with that toe pointed up towards the ceiling, you can leave it there. Just finding that little bit of a stretch to wake it up here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to press the foot and the hand into each other. And it's going to allow us to lift a little bit off of the floor here. So I'm just going to take my left elbow out a little bit further, but pressing my right hand and my right foot into each other. So that opposition actually lifts my knee up off of the floor a little bit. It wakes up those muscles, it wakes up my shoulders, and it finds just a little bit of a half back bend here. So just finding that for about another 5 or 6 seconds. Finding a few more breaths. And with that exhale, go ahead and release it down. Let that right foot come down to the floor. That right hand comes around, and we're just going to switch sides. Same thing on the other side. Nice quad stretch. First, pointing that toe up towards the ceiling. If you have that range of motion from down on the floor and you want to start there, you're welcome to. If you need that little bit of an extra lift, you can bring that elbow onto the floor. And first, just starting with that nice stretch. So pulling that foot in, finding that medium intensity here. All right, and then we're gonna find that little lift. So go ahead and press the hand and the foot into each other. Bring that knee just slightly up off of the floor. Maybe the chest lifts a little bit further. Bringing it up, finding that strain through those muscles as you lift. About another 5 seconds here. Take a couple more nice deep breaths. With that next exhale, go ahead and release and relax down. Now we've got 2 options moving forward here. Your first option is to just find that same stretch one more time. The second option is going to be we're going to find our lift into our bow pose. So all that's going to do is take both feet and both hands together rather than one at a time. So that's a little bit intense for you. You're welcome to just find that right side once again. If you're ready to find that nice lift and that nice stretch, I'm going to take my right hand around first, and then I'm going to find it with that left hand, same thing on that other side. And then same thing here, we're not trying to just lift with the spine. I want you to first think about pressing the hands and the feet together. That finds just a little bit of a lift. And then I want you to open up through the chest a little bit further. So lifting it up off the floor. Like I said, if this is intense, stick with just that right side for now. Still finding that nice big lift. Either of those two options with your next exhale, nice and easily releasing down to the floor. If you were on that single side, we're going to go ahead and switch to the left side. If you were doing both sides, we're just going to find that one more time. So once again, bringing those toes up towards the ceiling, starting with one hand, bringing it around, meeting that other hand first, starting by pressing the hands and the feet towards each other. That gives us that nice lift. And then opening up through the chest, squeezing through the glutes. Couple of nice deep breaths on this one. All right, wherever you are, that next big exhale, nice and easy, brings us back down to the floor, releases, and then we're gonna take those hands out long overhead once again and those feet long behind. From here, we're gonna find a next Pilates move is gonna be our swan. Go ahead and pull those hands right in next to the chest as if we were gonna do our push-up up next. We're not gonna do our push-up right away here, we're just gonna find a nice stretch. Lifting those hands about 2 inches off of the floor so we can't use them for any support. With your next inhale, I want you to go ahead and lift that upper body up off the floor as high as you can. We're gonna find a little hold here, so keeping those feet planted will bring a little less pressure to the lower back. If you'd like to up the intensity, you can lift those feet up a little bit and find that intensity there. If that causes any kind of pain, just go ahead and keep those feet on the floor. We're gonna find another couple of breaths right here in this hold. Squeezing through those glutes. Next big exhale, press those hands into the floor. We're lifting up into our cobra, so those feet meet the floor once again. That upper body comes up towards the front of the room, shining out through the chest. Nice big stretch here. Next big exhale lowers us down. We're going to find that same thing one more time. So lifting those hands up off the floor, not using them for any support. First thing, you're going to lift that upper body up, finding as much range of motion there as you can. And then if you'd like to add that intensity with those feet, you can also lift them up off of the floor. Finding there's a little bit of a back bend here, activating through the glutes, the shoulders. Next big exhale, go ahead and place those hands on the floor, pressing it up into our cobra. Nice big stretch through the front side body here. Next exhale brings us back down. All right, we're gonna up that intensity. We're gonna keep working through that lower back. We're gonna take our X lifts up a notch. So go ahead and take those hands out overhead once again. Same exercise that we did before. Opposite hands and opposite foot lifts and lower. But I just want you to pick that tempo up just a little bit. So getting it going side to side, keeping it moving here. Trying to keep that neck kind of neutral. I have a tendency to lift my head and look forward when I do this. Try and resist that urge. Keep the face towards the floor. We're going to keep going with this X lift for another couple of breaths. For another 3, 2, and 1. Relaxing down onto the floor. Once again, we're going to take this up a notch into our super people, Superman or woman here. So this time, if you've got any lower back pain here, once again, I encourage you to keep those feet on the floor. We're going to find that same lift that we did before, but this time with those arms out in front. So lifting the chest up off the floor. If we're without pain through that lower back, bringing those feet up to meet. Now we're going to find our initial range of motion with those shoulders that we found. So from here, go ahead and pull those thumbs down so that they meet the collarbones, and then extend them back out. In this float, we're going to find this a few times. This is a little intense. You're welcome to set down every few reps. So just getting going here, moving those elbows and those shoulders up and down, really activating through the whole posterior chain. Pull the shoulder blades together. Another couple of seconds here. You guys are doing great. for 4, 3, 2. Next big exhale, go ahead and lower it down. And then we're just gonna give a tiny little break in our child's pose. So bringing it up, bringing those knees wide, toes together, hips back towards the heels. Nice big stretch through that lower back, all the way through that posterior chain, finding that nice big stretch. All right, I've got one more exercise for us that's gonna really work that lower back and those shoulders. So let's bring it back out long on that mat. We've got our little rest in there. We're gonna finish out with swimming. So last exercise is gonna really target this same muscle group here. We're starting in that same position, hands out long, toes out long. We're gonna lift up in both directions. So those hands and those feet come up off the floor once again. The feet can stay down if you've got any pain. And then we're just gonna move the arms and legs in tiny little range of motion here, opposite side, getting going. So as if we're trying to paddle on top of a lake or a swimming pool and trying to keep ourselves afloat, keeping moving here in another couple of breaths with this lift. Nice work, you guys. Stick with me, we're almost there. Take one more nice deep breath, and then with that next exhale, go ahead and lower down to your mat. Same thing for that little recovery. Let's bring it back to our child's pose. Bring it up, knees wide, toes together, hips back towards the heels. All right, nice work, you guys. We're just gonna get that spine moving with our cat and cow before we transition up to a little bit more of a yoga set of moves here. So bringing it up to hands and knees, wrists are right under the shoulders, knees are right under the hips. And then getting going here with our inhales, the belly drops towards the floor, the chest and the chin lifts. With the exhales, the spine lifts, the chin tucks towards the chest. Getting going here, just kind of at the pace of your breath. Finding that nice spinal range of motion. All right, give me 2 more nice deep breaths in our cat and cow here. As soon as you finish those 2 nice deep breaths, we're going to transition to our first down dog of the day. So maybe moving those hands out just a little bit, curling those toes under, pressing those hips up and back. We're going to take a moment to find a stretch. You need a little bit of relief for those wrists because we're having any kind of pain here. You're welcome to bring that down to a dolphin if that feels a little bit better for this part. If not, just finding that nice big stretch, ears between the biceps, heels coming down towards the ground, maybe alternating. Maybe you move the hips a little bit side to side. Maybe nice and slowly shaking the head yes or no. Finding the neck loosening up a little bit here. Very nice. Up next, we're just gonna walk those feet forward to meet the hands. So bringing them up towards the hands. There can be a little bit of space between those feet. Finding our forward fold here. So if you need a nice little bend through those knees for this, that's totally fine. If they can be a little bit longer and you can find a little bit more of a stretch, that's also fine, whichever feels good here. Once again, spending a moment letting the head and neck relax, letting the shoulders relax, finding that nice stretch through the spine and the backs of the legs. Awesome. With your next inhale, we're going to find a halfway lift, nice flat back, long spine. So bringing it up so our spine can almost be a tabletop here. Next exhale brings us back down towards the floor. We're going to do that 2 more times. With your next inhale, halfway lift, flat back, long spine, nice long neck. Exhale to fold forward. And then one last time, bringing it up, halfway lift with that inhale. Nice flat back, exhale to fold forward. With your next inhale, we're gonna roll it all the way up to standing nice and tall and finish out in our extended mountain. So sweeping those arms out and up towards that ceiling. From here, we're gonna find a lateral stretch. So go ahead and take that right hand down towards that leg. That left arm comes up over top. So I'm bending sideways through my spine here laterally. Nice big inhale brings us through center. Same thing other side. We're just gonna move side to side here. That exhale brings that left hand down, nice big stretch. Inhale brings us through center. Same thing, exhale down to the right. Inhale through center. Down to the left with our exhale. One more time each direction. Big inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale brings us through center. Last time over to the left. Exhale down. That next inhale brings us back up. And our exhale brings us back down into our forward fold. Alrighty, we're gonna take back into our crescent lunge. We're gonna take a little focus on our crescent lunge today. So I'm just gonna take my right foot back towards the back of my mat. My left foot is gonna stay planted right here. So my ankle is right underneath my knee. My right heel is off of the floor. My right leg is nice and long. Now, if you feel pretty stable and steady here, what I want you to do is try and lift those hands off of that standing knee. If you've got a little bit more balance than that, you can extend those hands up towards the ceiling. And if you've got a little bit more and you want to challenge yourself, looking up towards those hands and really decreasing that stability through those feet to challenge our balance here. Now, there's a couple of things that I want you to think about while we're in this position. I can already feel my quad working because I've got a nice bend through that front knee. However, to make sure that we're staying nice and safe and stable, that knee should point the same direction as those front toes, but it shouldn't drift out over. So that's us keeping our knee over our ankle. And then we've got a nice long back leg if we can, so keeping it steady and stable, pressing through those toes. Nice work. Another couple of seconds in this. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears if those arms are up nice and long. Finding a nice long spine. 2 more deep breaths in this pose. You guys got this. Awesome. Next, deep inhale. That exhale, fold those arms forward. Bring that right foot forward to meet the left. Back into our forward fold. Maybe you pedal out those heels a little bit just because we need to give that left quad a little bit of a break. Taking a couple of seconds, we're just going to switch it up next. So when you're ready, stepping that left foot back long, that heel stays up off of the floor. Our right ankle is right underneath that right knee. And then when you're ready, bringing it up, finding your stability and your balance. If you need that hand on that knee, you can use it. If you're ready to step it up from there, lifting those off. Up from there, takes those hands up, and then up from there, extends that gaze up towards the ceiling. Same things here. If you've got those arms up, make sure those shoulders are relaxed down. Check out that front knee, make sure it's in alignment. And we've got a nice long back leg to find this position. Same thing, I can feel my quads working, nice and strong here, nice and stable and steady. Couple more deep breaths here. Nice work. One more big inhale. With that exhale, we fold that torso forward, bring those hands back down to the mat, bring that left foot forward to meet the right. Finding, once again, that forward fold, taking a second if you need to pedal out those heels. Give that quad a little bit of a break. Then we're gonna find our 3 halfway lifts here. Next inhale brings us halfway up, flat back, long spine. Nice tabletop with that back. Exhale brings us back forward. Nice work, you guys. Inhale brings us back up. 2 more right here. Exhale brings us back forward. Nice big stretch, folding down. Last one, just like this. Our inhale brings us to that halfway lift. Our exhale folds us forward. We're going to bring it back to our down dog. So if you need to bend through those knees to plant those hands, and then step it back into our downward dog one more time here. Taking once again a second to pedal out those heels. Find that nice big stretch. We're going to take a couple of breaths in our child's pose, so drop those knees, sit those hips back. Now, if child's pose down the center feels good for you, you're welcome to stay right here. If you'd like to walk those hands a little bit side to side, you're welcome to stay there. We're going to take about 3 more nice deep breaths in this child's pose. Awesome. One more deep breath here. Big inhale. With that exhale, plant those hands, lift those hips, curl the toes under, press the hips up and back, right back into our downward dog. Walk those feet forward to meet the hands once again. Same thing here, we've got our halfway lifts. Inhale brings us halfway, flat back, long spine. Exhale, pulls us forward. Same thing, twice more. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward. Last time, inhale, halfway, flat back, long spine. Exhale, folds us forward. Our next inhale rolls us all the way up to our extended mountain. So nice and controlled, bringing it up, bringing those arms out and up. We've got our lateral bending here. Our next exhale brings that right hand down towards the leg. Left arm comes up over top. Big inhale pulls us through center. Same thing, other direction, over to the left. Big inhale brings us through center. Over to the right. Back through center. Nice big inhale here. Work you guys down to the left. One more time in each direction to finish us out here. Inhale through center. Exhale down to the right. Inhale last time through center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale brings us back to center, and our exhale brings us down into our forward fold. All right, we're going to progress from our crescent lunge, but that's where we're going to start here. So go ahead and take that right foot, step it back to right where we had it. When you feel nice and stable and steady, bringing that chest up, finding our balance and stability. And then I want everyone to try and lift their arms up towards the ceiling here. This is going to transition us into our warrior two today. So I want you to turn that back heel out, open those arms up nice and wide. Once again, we're going to spend a couple of moments in this pose, so really getting some good work through that quad today. Same thing with that front knee. We've got a nice bend in it. That back leg is nice and long. Those hips are open up towards that kind of diagonal here on that mat. Our back heel is down, keeping the shoulders down away from those ears. We're going to bring this into our extended side angle. I want you to bend that left arm, bring it down to that left knee, bring that right arm up over top. So here is the basis for our extended side angle. If you want a little bit more of a core challenge, lifting that elbow off of the knee, extending that hand down towards the floor. So we're just kind of floating here. We're using our core to keep that spine nice and long. Nicely done. Okay, if you want a challenge here, we're going to bring it up to our half moon. If you're not quite ready for that, you can maybe take a little break for that front quad. So that half moon, I'm going to spring off of this back leg and bring all of my weight onto this front leg. So when I get up there, I've got all that weight on this leg. Now, if I need a little bit of help here, I just bring that back leg down and I find my balance again. If not, you've got that balance there. We're opening up through the chest. I like to use the floor for a little support. If you're not quite there yet, keep that back heel down. Try and think about transferring that weight forward. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Stick with me. I know those quads are working here. Nice work. With our next exhale, if you're up in that half moon, setting that foot down, everyone, we're going to bring it up into our warrior two. A little bend through that front leg, that right arm sweeps forward, that right heel comes up off the mat, back to that crescent lunge. Our next exhale folds us forward, bringing that right foot forward to meet the left. Once again, taking just a second, maybe pedal out those heels, taking a little bit of time here to give that left quad a little bit of time to recover. We're going to bring it over to that opposite side, so taking that left foot, stepping it back nice and long, we're bringing it to our crescent. That inhale brings us up. Everyone working to get up to this position, we're going to take just a moment here, check out that knee, make sure we're doing okay. Nice, looking good. All right, we're transitioning to that warrior two. That back heel turns down. Those arms open up nice and wide. Once again, we're going to spend a couple of moments here working through that quad, relaxing those shoulders down away from those ears. Nice work, everyone. Good, looking good. All right, extended side angle. Bending through that right elbow, bringing it down to that right knee. That left arm comes up over top. Once again, if you want that little bit of a challenge, you can extend that right hand down towards the floor and just use that core to keep that spine nice and long here. Nicely done. All righty, last thing we've got on this side here, we're gonna transition to that half moon. So once again, everyone, I want you to try and think about transferring your weight forward into that front leg. If you can't quite get those toes up off the ground today, that's totally okay. Just thinking about that front leg. If you've got that half moon, extending it forward, maybe bringing that hand down to the floor for a little help, opening up through that chest, opening up through that hip. A little bit of a balance challenge. Like I said, if you're right here, that's totally fine. We're using that support. Thinking about transferring that weight forward. 2 more breaths in this half moon. Nice. If you're up there with that next exhale, nice and easy, bringing that foot back down to the floor. And then with your next inhale, everyone bringing it back up to that warrior two. Sweeping that left arm forward, bringing that left heel up off of the mat. Our next exhale folds us forward, and we bring the left forward to meet the right. One more time in our forward fold. Inhale brings us to our halfway lift. Nice flat back, long spine. Exhale folds us forward. Twice more just like that. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back, long spine. Exhale folds us forward. Last time today, our inhale brings us to our halfway lift. Flat back, long spine. Our exhale folds us forward. Plant those hands, bend those knees a little more if you need to. Step those feet back into our downward dog. All right, from here, we're going to transition to just to find a little bit more of core work here. Bring our Pilates back for the end. Shift those shoulders out over those wrists. Bring those hips down into our high push-up plank position. We're going to spend a couple of moments here. So taking your time to find your breath, find that neutral spine. If you need to drop it down to those elbows, you are welcome to take a little pressure off of those wrists. Finding your breath here, finding that core strength. You guys got this. I know we've done a lot of good work already today. All right, from this position, what I want you to do is to take your left knee, cross it over underneath your right leg, set that hip down, and roll it on over to our backs. All right, so like I said, we're going to take our couple of final minutes here to do a little bit of Pilates core work. So starting out, taking those knees bent and those feet planted. We're going to do 5 roll-ups all together here, starting with our first big inhale, sweeps those arms up overhead. That exhale, however momentum you need to get up off of the floor, brings those arms down and around and rolls us up. So like I said, if you need a little more momentum with those arms to get you up off the floor, go ahead and use it. Our inhale finds our long spine at the top. Our exhale rolls us back down. Nice job. That's our first of 5. Inhale brings those arms up overhead. Exhale rolls us up. Use that momentum if you need it. Inhale finds that long spine at the top. Exhale rolls us down. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, circles them down and around, brings us up. Nice work, you guys. Inhale, long spine at the top. Exhale, rolls us down. There's our third. Just 2 more here. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, rolls us up. Inhale, long spine at the top. Exhale, rolls us down. There's our 4th, last time here. Big inhale, brings those arms up overhead. Exhale, circles us around, brings us up. Inhale for a long spine at the top. And our exhale brings us down back onto that mat. All right, I want you to go ahead and take those legs out long. Take those hands out almost to a T, but just a little bit further down than would bring us side to side here. So we're gonna work on, again, a cross body range of motion to kind of finish us out today. So I call this in traditional exercise a half V-up, but we're thinking kind of the opposite of those X lifts that we started with. So I'm gonna take my right arm and my left leg, and I'm gonna bring them up together, but my goal is to get up onto my hips. So I'm gonna use my left hand for a little bit of support. So they're gonna come up towards each other. I use this left hand for that support, and then nice and easy, I'm gonna bring it back down and trade sides. So bringing it up on that other side, we're using that exhale to come up off of the mat, the fingers and the toes together, and then that exhale down nice and easy. We're gonna just find a couple of these here today. If you can't quite get up to those hips, feel free to just take the hands and the feet toward each other, finding our cross body work, our work through our obliques. Couple of final minutes here. All right, nice. We're gonna add to this now. So bringing it back down to the floor, same starting position. The first thing that we're gonna do here is, instead of my right fingers and toes coming together, I'm gonna do my right elbow and my left knee. Then on that same side, I'm gonna extend them both long and bring them up towards center together. So we're gonna do two ranges of motion on that same side. The elbow and the knee come together, we extend long, we exhale to press up off of the floor. A couple of these here, elbow and knee together, extend long, exhale brings us up, opposite side, working those obliques. We're almost there, you guys, stick with me, keep breathing. Awesome work, you guys. Once more on each side. When you finish those last two, bring it down onto the mat, pull those knees in towards the chest, finding a couple of little circles here. All right, let's go ahead and roll it on up to seated. Bring it around. Finishing out with our nice deep breath here. Leading with those arms as we inhale, bringing them out and up. The palms meet right overhead, and we exhale to pull down to heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me on this Wednesday morning, I guess still. The light me honors, the light you, bowing as we say, namaste. All right, great work, you guys.